Hey everyone, and welcome to Comic Breakdown. Now today we are going to be getting into Future State, and this issue is going to be Future State, The Next Batman, issue number 1. Now if you guys are going to be new to the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. If you want to get all caught up on everything Future State that's going to be releasing, be sure to check out my playlists in the description and at the top of the video. It's going to give you everything you need when it comes to the Future State event. Now, most people know kind of how this issue is going to play out. We all know that Tim Fox is the next Batman. But the really awesome story that comes out of this issue is the Arkham Knights coming out looking like freaking Optimus Prime mixed with King Arthur. And it is just absolutely phenomenal. I can't wait to get into that a little bit more with you guys. Also, one last thing before we dive into this issue, I will be doing a podcast. It will be Comic Breakdown and more. We will be covering everything from the weekly comic pools of DC and Marvel to the weekly TV shows, the movie releases, animated series, anything you can think about that's comic book, geek related, nerd related, however you want to phrase it. We will be covering every single bit of it. We're going to go in detail about the comics, a little bit more of a review for you guys. So once that's up and live, I'll be sure to leave a link in the description. I would love for you guys to come check out our first episode that is going to air on Friday at the very latest. I'm aiming for Thursday, but we're going to say probably Friday. So without further ado, let's dive into this issue. So diving into this one, we're getting a little understanding of exactly what has happened to Gotham City, because it's turned into a police state. Drones constantly flying overhead, facial recognition cameras on every single corner, and everything's under the control of the Magistrate, a private security force that patrols Gotham with orders to shoot to kill anybody wearing a mask. But of course, Gotham still needs its Batman. And this is where we see Batman descend upon a crook. And they start really just duking it out here. And Batman gets the upper hand. But all Batman was trying to do was pull his face mask off, because he just doesn't want this guy getting shot. And this is when the cops show up, the GCPD. And they go to try to detain him, but he takes off. And the cops realize that the man that he had knocked down and ripped the mask off of was actually the East Side rapist for Gotham City. And so even though, he feels like that guy's life may not have been worth much, it doesn't constitute people being shot just because they're wearing a mask, because that sets a precedent that anybody can be shot just because they're wearing a mask. And that's a dangerous, dangerous path to take. Now we pick up in Little Santa Prica, and we're seeing Bane's kind of little cult following, the Bane Lidos. And they're trying to recruit 2 new kids into their ranks, and handing them a gun, telling them they just have to kill somebody. Once they kill somebody, then they're in. And so they drive around looking for somebody to take on. And they keep mentioning that they're in hype territory and they're looking for one of the hype soldiers. And they pull up on this guy and they go to shoot him. But that guy pulls out a gun and it just goes sideways so fast. But Batman arrives, saves his life, and then ends up smashing the windshield of this car, causing them to crash, and they all pile out. And Batman goes and chases down the 2 boys and just, takes the gun from them, lets them know, like, they can find a different path. They need to take the masks off and go be kids. Like, get out of this life while you can. Like, stay away from these kind of people. This isn't the path you want to go, because you could have easily ended up dead tonight. And this is when the Magistrates show up and they start taking shots without even caring who is in the way. And Batman gets him and those 2 kids out of there. And for Batman, this was a good day because he was able to save 2 kids' lives. And any day you could save a life is a good day. Now, for our little side stories that are within of this comic, this is the Outsiders. And we have Katana and the Signal, aka Duke Thomas. And Duke Thomas is hightailing it as the Magistrate is right on his butt. And they're trying to make it to the outside. And as they jump over the bridge, Katana meets the Magistrate soldiers and lets them know that anybody that crosses her line, she's taking their soul. And they think it's a joke at first, and they try shooting at her, and she blocks every single one of the bullets and takes down these soldiers like they're nothing. And this is where we pick up with Duke Thomas and him bringing these people to safety because the magistrate had tagged them and they had gone to kick in their doors. They're essentially threatening their families. They just weren't safe anymore with the magistrate. And this is where Katana takes off and she's just like, you know, you wasted my time with doing this. Next time, don't waste my time. And then she takes off and her jetpack runs out, but she runs through this warehouse of magistrate soldiers like it's absolutely nothing. It's completely and utterly brutal. And then this is when she sees Caliber. And these two start duking it out. But Caliber's enhanced because he's been essentially stocked full of cybernetic abilities to make him a super soldier, if you will. And so these two start really dueling it out. And it looks like Katana might actually lose here. But then we see some black lightning fall from the sky and hit Caliber and everybody around. And we learn that it's Jefferson Pierce, aka Black Lightning. But for whatever reason, he's been cursed and he's stuck in this state. But he comes with a message that Signal has somebody traveling with him that works for the magistrate. And then our next issue picks up, or not next issue, but our next little sub issue within this issue picks up with the Arkham Knights, or the Knights of Arkham, if you will. And they're really working on the same pretext that everybody else is, working against the magistrate because they've come to enslave the people. And we find out the leader of the Knights is known as Astrid, but that's not the only individuals here. We have Dr. Phosphorus, we have Clayface, we have Two-Face. Essentially, all of these guys broke out of Arkham at one point in time, and they saw the chaos that the city had dove into and how bad Gotham had got. And so they want to bring back some kind of normalcy and stability to the people. And it's got to be bad when you have the villains teaming up and creating something as awesome as this to be able to combat something even worse than them. And the whole point of this little section is to give us an introduction to them, and as well, they're traveling to try to rescue Croc from the magistrate. And so with having him rescued, they head back to Wayne Manor and they give Croc the ability to heal up, and everybody gets kind of a break here. Now Gotham is broken up into sections, and each section has a commander, if you will, a peacekeeper, and their section is Peacekeeper 12. He's the leader of this area. And after everybody's all healed up, they go out for their little attack. And there ends up being a giant brawl between the Magistrate and the Arkham Knights. And the Knights of Arkham end up getting the upper hand, and they win this fight, taking down the region leader. And that will be the end of this issue. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. You know, these little sub-stories are kind of cool. You know, I wish they would really have their own issue. They might as well if they're going to do all of this. But it is nice to get it inside of the Batman story. You know, it's all related to Gotham as a whole, so it makes sense. You know, a lot of people are excited about Fox being the new Batman, which I'm personally very excited for. I'm excited to see a story and how it all plays out. I'm really excited with everything going on with Duke Thomas and Katana. Always a big fan of her. But yeah, let me know what you guys think down in the comments. If you have not yet, please do me the favor. Hit that sub button. Hit the notification bell. Make sure you hit the like button. And until the next video.